Hi, Carnivore fans. It's Holly. I'm back, and I've got a nice little update today on my progress on my carnivore journey. So, lately, I've been binge watching Dr. Bright, and if you know my story, I've had a lot of hormonal issues, hunger hormones. I don't know, maybe thyroid hormones, certainly cortisol levels, insomnia, sleep issues, and it's I just feel like it's a little bit different than a lot of people who are going on carnivore for weight loss. Sure, I'd like a little weight loss, and that's a nice healthy benefit that you can get out of carnivore, but it's not my primary motivation. I certainly wouldn't have started this if that was all I was looking for. So I think with a lot of women out there, there's just this whole layer of complexity that our hormones add to our health issues and our health challenges. And so trying to find a solution that's going to work for us, it's tough. It's difficult. And I just feel like I have had to search and dig and really be very open-minded to the information that's out there to actually find something that could address my issues that I'm dealing with. So, I want some help with this. I'm looking at a lot of different experts, reading a lot of books and listening to YouTube videos, digging into some research. And so one of the resources that I used is the Steak and Butter Gang that's run by Bella. And it's really comprehensive. Gosh, there's so much good information. When you join Steak and Butter Gang, they actually bring on experts to do Zoom calls, and you can ask questions of, people that I'm sure you're familiar with, like Dr. Anthony Chafee and Dr. Kiltz and Dr. Elizabeth Bright, and Rebecca Heichman is a carnivore coach. Plus, they have additional carnivore coaches. So I joined the Steak and Butter Gang. It's a lot of information to dig through and sort out, who I actually think could address my hormonal issue, women's hormonal issues. And so I chose to submit a question and I chose to submit it to Dr. Bright because I feel like she's the most spot on when it comes to my issues. And so here's my question that I asked, and she answered me. I'm thrilled. It's very exciting to feel like I'm getting a little personalized help. So here's what I asked. I said, Dr. Bright, how long does it take to heal hunger hormones? I've been suffering from polyphagia. Polyphagia, if you don't know what polyphagia is, it's extreme hunger attacks. And it's likely due to long-time low-fat dieting and fasting. I've seen good improvement so far with about 6 weeks on high-fat carnivore, but my terrible sleep problems are not improving yet. Extreme hunger attacks at night are decreasing and none during the day anymore. When should I expect to see improvement? Thank you, Dr. Bright, for your expertise. So that's what I put out there. And her answer was very encouraging. She just said, be patient. She said it took a long time. This is long time, low fat dieting. It takes a long time to do damage, and it's going to take time to heal. And since I am seeing improvement and I am seeing results with only 6 weeks on the carnivore diet, that is a good indication that I'm doing the right thing, I'm going in the right direction, and then I just need to be patient and give it more time and continue doing what I'm doing. And so that was really encouraging. But let me tell you, oh my gosh, let me tell you, the secret little bright spot that I was not even expecting, that totally cheered my whole day. While Bella was reading my question, and then during Dr. Bright's answer, I could see, you're on a Zoom call, and so you can see all these little squares, all these little people on the call. Mostly, other members, but they have coaches. There's, Coach Emily, Coach Raymond, Coach, I want to say Rochelle. And I could see Coach Emily in her little box. This is like the Brady Bunch, boxes. She was smiling and nodding and really appeared to understand my predicament. exactly what I'm going through with these extreme hunger attacks. This is not normal hunger. This is not a craving. It's not binge eating. It's not emotional eating. It's a physiological response that my body is going through. My body is obviously under stress. It thinks that I'm starving. It's sending out these hunger signals that it's these extreme hunger attacks, and they attack me, and I can't focus. I can't think. I can't work on a project. I can't do anything until I feed my face. And in the past, traditionally, it's always been I need to get some carbs. I need to get potatoes or a burrito or, something heavy, carb heavy and filling. Now, so like I said, okay, those attacks aren't happening so much during the day because I'm eating nice 3 big, fatty, meaty meals during the day, but they are happening at night, even though I've had a good dinner. And even though I am eating better before bed, I'm getting this, I can't even go to sleep. And then I need to eat around 12, 1, 2 in the morning, usually around 1 in the morning. And my midnight snack is bigger than my dinner. It's crazy. It's like I am having, I want to say, a third of a pound of ground beef or ground lamb, and put the butter on it, maybe an egg or 2, maybe some cheese, maybe some hot sauce, just to get it down because I'm so hungry and so starving, and I will not go to sleep until I can cut this cycle. It's not until I can fill my belly. It's until I can cut the cycle. So anyway, I was thrilled that I felt like I'm in the right place. I asked these experts, experienced people about my issues, and they had a positive response. They seemed like they were familiar with something crazy going on like this, and they were confident in their answer and even very smiling and encouraging. And it really brightened my day. I felt so much better doing the carnivore. I felt so much better with my decision to pursue this. And I just felt supported, and wasn't that easy. That's without even hiring an expert or anything to help me out here. But I just decided to reach out and ask a question, and I got an answer, and I'm really thrilled. So all of that being said, in my question, I said I was doing the high-fat carnivore diet. But after a little bit more research and watching videos, I realized maybe I'm really not doing high-fat carnivore 2-to-1 ratio, I think it's 2 grams of fat per 1 gram of protein. I mean, I am adding extra butter on top of my meat, but I'm not eating fat drippings, and I'm not eating pork belly because I told you that whole fiasco where I burned the pork belly and overcooked it, and then because I was so hungry, I ate almost the whole thing in one sitting, and I'm over the pork belly. So I do add pan drippings, but when I add them, I feel a little nauseous. So I feel like maybe I can't actually handle the high-fat carnivore diet yet. And that is something that people have to work up to. When you've been eating low-fat, vegan, vegetarian, or even just all this low-fat dieting and intermittent fasting, you may not be able to handle the high-fat. Like, you can't jump into it. You got to work up to it. You have to let your body, it just takes a lot of enzymes to digest a lot of fat. And I feel like I'm not trying to do 1 meal a day or 2 meals a day. I am eating these 3 meals a day. And yeah, they're decent sized meals, but I am spreading out my protein and my fat intake throughout the day. I did go to my local butcher, and he told me that I can put an order in for fat drippings, and I have yet to do that. I don't know why. I'll tell you why, because I'm so lucky. My husband does the grocery shopping, and I put things on the list, and he goes and gets them, and it's kept our house full of food, and it's kept me, like, I got to eat overnight. It's kept the fridge full. I'm so grateful for his support. But, I got to do this. I got to contact the butcher and put an order in and just go for the fat drippings, which actually sounds delicious. Can you imagine a little? It's like bacon. Like, honestly, when I eat bacon, the best part of the bacon is that end that's just all fat, and it's crispy and it crunches in your mouth and it releases a delicious burst of flavor. It's so good. So I'm actually looking forward to getting a bag of fat drippings and just frying up, sauteing or broiling, and a little handful of them, and adding them to my meals with a steak, with a burger. I think it'll be a nice addition. So I do have to get on that. But there are so many videos out there, so much education that's available for free on YouTube, and even just on the internet, on Carnivore, on how to do this. And so, I keep going back to this. I found a great video by Kelly Hogan on her. She never had to do high fat carnivore because just the regular carnivore worked for her, but she coaches people. And so she was just talking about how many clients she has that the carnivore diet alone didn't work for them. They had to go on the high fat carnivore diet to even start losing weight. Or it's so beneficial and it's so helpful to get all these different perspectives. So, I've been doing carnivore about 2 months, close to 2 months, and I've considered getting help. So that's why I've been looking at all these different experts, getting their opinions, getting their philosophies, getting their advice, and doing the best I can with it. I have a nutrition background. I am a nutritional therapist, and I've done a lot of cleanses and paleo and intermittent fasting. I have a lot of experience. So I think I've been able to put together a pretty good program just to get going on my own. But I think now that it is time to get some professional help, because this is not a quick journey. Maybe a lot of people can just go carnivore and within 2 or 3 weeks they're feeling great and getting the results they want. Well, I think even 2 or 3 months into it, I just think it's going to be 6 months for me before I can really start making a healing process happen with my hormones. So I'd like a little help along the way. So I've been considering, should I get coaching? Should I see a doctor? And I think that coaches have a lot to offer. Some of them do group classes, some do individual. Some of the coaches that I was considering working with would be Rebecca Heichman, Coach Emily from Steak and Butter, and Kelly Hogan. There's others. I think Dr. Lisa Wiedemann offers coaching, and there's a lot of experts that I think are doing really good work out there, and they can really help a lot of people. But in my case, I just feel like my polyphagia, it's a hormonal issue that's not run-of-the-mill. This is an outlier. I'm like this out there, out of the box. And in extreme hunger attacks, they are getting better, but honestly, I'm still getting them at night, and it's like every darn night. It's every darn night. The insomnia is terrible. In fact, it's getting worse, and I've learned that there is a thing called diet-induced insomnia, and especially from low-carb diets. And I feel like even when I went carnivore, this terrible insomnia that I've struggled with since I was 12 years old, it's even gotten worse being on carnivore, because your body just thinks that it's in a state of stress, and it's going to take a while to bathe my hormones in butter, feed my organs, and so that they can function correctly and put out the right hormonal signals. This is going to take time. So, I'm sure that I probably could benefit from more lab testing. I had lab testing done right before I started carnivore, so that was fortunate. I went in because I was feeling so bad. I went to my doctor and she ordered all the blood work. All normal. Oh, nothing's wrong. It's all fine, right? But I think that I could benefit from the cortisol spit test, which is, it draws out a cortisol curve of how you're doing during the day, what time of day your cortisol is high, what time it's low, and it should be at certain levels when you're trying to go to sleep, and when in the morning when your body should wake you up naturally. So I think I could really benefit from that. I think I could benefit from having more thyroid hormone, because all my doctor measured was TSH. Like, she didn't even do T3 or T4 or reverse T3. Like, I need a thyroid panel. And then the other thing I learned about was the Keto Mojo. And this is a little device, which is, it measures your ketones and it measures your blood glucose levels. And so let me tell you, when I was sick last fall, I was having these terrible polyphagia, extreme hunger attacks, all during after breakfast. It was crazy. I just felt like I wanted a continuous glucose monitor because it feels like it's hypoglycemia. That's the only way I can describe it, is that I feel like it's hypoglycemia. But my doctor wouldn't approve it because of insurance. Insurance wouldn't approve it. She said I could get one if I wanted to pay out of pocket. And honestly, really, it's not that much. It's a few $100s. I mean, if you have blood sugar issues and you want to know what your glucose levels are doing, I think that is a minimal expense to improve your health. But fortunately for me, I had a person in my life who had a glucose monitor, and we just cleaned it all up and sanitized it, and I used that one. And I could tell that my blood sugar was not dropping during these polyphagia attacks. So it feels like it's hypoglycemia, but it's not. And, Dr. Siwes, he expresses it as intracellular hypoglycemia. So there's plenty of blood sugar in the bloodstream, but inside the cells, they are starving. So I don't know if that's correct or not. I don't know how to measure the glucose levels inside the cell, but I also feel like maybe it's just my hunger hormones are signaling, misfiring, and whacked out. I don't know. So I feel like I could benefit from some professional help. And I feel like coaching could have a lot of benefits, but I don't need a coach. I need a doctor. And so I decided that Dr. Bright is the answer. And she's the winner. So I'm going to put in for an appointment with Dr. Bright, and let's start there and see what she can work up for me, looking into my case. And I'm really excited to hear what she has to say. I'm a little nervous to kind of be, so far I've been able to make up my own rules with how I'm doing the carnivore diet, and I'm still drinking coffee. I'm having cream in my coffee. I'm having tea. I'm having some cheese, not a lot, but some cheese, and with hot sauce. And when I get these attacks, sometimes I've had a grapefruit, I've had banana, I've had blueberries. I have to do something to get through these attacks. So that happens in the middle of the night. But here's the reasons why I feel like Dr. Bright is the best choice for me at this time. So first of all, she is anti-gadget. She's anti-counting. She is pro-tracking. So you track what you eat. It's fine to write it down. But I'm kind of I don't know. I've used those carb monitoring apps before, and I've had such a hard time. I just hate they're not set up for someone who wants to do high protein or high fat. You put in your food and it spits out your macros and it says you need more carbs. You are under, and I'm like, no, I'm trying to do high protein. I'm trying to do paleo. I'm trying to do keto, and they just don't. I'm not gonna, kowtow to their manufactured numbers that they're trying to put out to the general population, when I'm trying to do this high protein, high fat protocol. So also, I am anti-fasting, and even though I have done a lot of intermittent fasting, it surprised me how well it worked, because I never had these extreme hunger attacks when I was doing intermittent fasting. But I was hungry all the dang time. And you do that either by weighing your food or counting calories and only eating 2 meals a day, and eat at noon and eat at 6. And what happens if I'm busy at noon and I can't eat at noon? Like, I'm ready to eat. Like, I'm starving. And so intermittent fasting works if you can carve out a few months, couple months, 2-3 months, and do a fast and do it for weight loss. and I'm sure I was in ketosis because I was not having these extreme hunger attacks, but it's just not healthy for long term. And then what happened is when I came off of the intermittent fast, when I reached my goal weight, I was very happy. I came off the intermittent fasting, started already adding carbs, and started adding more meals. And that's when these extreme hunger attacks got worse than ever. I've had them for a long time, since I was like in my 30s, but they just got out of control, raging attacks, out of control. And so is the answer to go back and do more intermittent fasting? I don't think so. So, okay, I'm anti-gadget, and I'm anti-fasting, and I'm anti-cardio. I like to go out and walk. I like to hike. I like to cycle, ride a bike. I like to swim. I've always been more of a distance athlete. But to me, these activities are meditative. They're relaxing. I can breathe. I can move. It's nice to get the lymphatic system flowing. But I'm not going to the gym and doing heavy weightlifting. And I'm not doing cardio like, people will do an elliptical or a treadmill or like, time it out, 20 minutes. I'm like, no, I also want to go for a nice relaxing walk. And whether that's a 20-minute walk or a 40-minute walk, or if I'm lucky, I can get an hour or two in on a nice day, go on a hike. I love that, but that's relaxing. It's meditative. It feels healing and nourishing. So Dr. Bright is also, she's anti-gadget, she's anti-fasting, she's anti-cardio, and pro-exercise, go out there and work your muscles and, move your body, yes, but these regimented workout routines in the gym, no. Okay, I am also anti-HRT, hormone replacement therapy. I just don't feel... I feel like if we were eating a proper diet, we wouldn't need hormones. And, yes, I'm pro whole food and I'm pro supplementation. Although now, since being on the carnivore diet, I feel like people who are doing carnivore proper human diet need even less supplementation. And certainly not synthetic vitamins. I take whole food vitamins and minerals, and I feel like the supplementation can be very beneficial. It's used in it for, in a medicinal way when it's very targeted. But I've never thought that HRT could address my issues. There's a lot of women that go on HRT because they're having issues with their monthly cycle or, pain, cramping, bleeding. They take it for weight loss. They take it for their headaches. There's a lot of reasons why women go on HRT, but I just never felt like it would really even address the issues that I struggle with, which is certainly, weight management, carb addiction, but these hunger attacks are just outrageous. I don't think that HRT is designed to fix that. So I've never even been attracted to trying that. And really, I'm anti-medication and I've been on medications in the past, but again, I just feel like if you're really eating the whole food diet, you got to try that first and see how well that works. If you still need medication to manage a medical condition, then okay, but do what you can with putting all these pieces in place, the proper diet, nice relaxing exercise, sleep. There's just so many pieces that need to be put in place first before you go on medication, especially to handle things like blood pressure or acid reflux, I feel like there's a lot of common chronic issues that can be helped by diet. And so let's do what we can first. So, I am pro lab work. I am for going in and getting information, get your blood drawn, get tests, get scans, it's information. And I think information is very valuable. It helps your doctor decide what course of action they would recommend. It helps you know where you are. It's a measurement over time. You can go back and recheck your labs. So I think that's really beneficial. So bottom line, I just feel like my approach to natural health and my approach to my own health it's really in alignment with Dr. Bright's approach. She wrote the book all about hormone therapy, and I got the book. Here it is. So good fat is good for women, especially in menopause. And there's the eggs, because good fat is good for women. And I read the book, and it's a little bit of a slug to get through. I will say that. She goes into all the history about how estrogen therapy started, and how the medical establishment has always been pushing drugs and hormone therapy on women, surgeries on women, and how even with men, like they tried to come out with a hormone therapy for men, and men wouldn't take it because they didn't like the way it made them feel. So she goes into a lot of that. It's not a thick book, but it's a slug, because it's very research heavy, and she cites her sources. She talks about, the companies, the pharmaceutical companies, and the people that are behind all this. And it was a slug to get through, because I'll tell you why. It's because I'm sick and I'm looking for an answer, and I want an answer. I want a program. I want a protocol. Like, let's get to the heart of it. And so here I bookmarked where it is finally at the back of the book, where she finally gets around to the protocol, that this is what you're supposed to do. This is how you can eat the high fat carnivore diet to address your issues. And, by the time I got through the book, then I was really confident that this is the right thing to be doing. I think you have to look at your own condition and what you're trying to heal, what problems you're trying to solve, to even decide, is this the right direction to go in? And so definitely reading through all that thick, heavy information was very helpful. But when I got to the end and I read all about the high fat diet and how to do it and her recommendations, I just feel like this is the best approach that I can take right now to try to heal my issues. So I'm in a good space. I'm pretty happy. I feel like I'm moving forward. I'm still struggling, definitely struggling. I mean, Carnivore Diet has been a big improvement. It's way better than I was 3-4 months ago, when I was really struggling at my worst. I am doing better. I've been able to figure out a lot on my own, but it's time to reach out for help and try to maximize the improvement I can get. And I selected Dr. Bright to move forward with, and I'll just keep you posted and keep you updated, and I'll keep seeing you out there in carnivore land. And I just continue to watch all these experts and hear all their opinions and advice, and I read comments from other people on the carnivore diet who maybe they don't have their own, YouTube channel or Facebook page or something like that, but the comments it is incredible to read what everyone is going through and how they're dealing with it and the improvements they've gotten, and just everyone's personal stories are so motivating and uplifting. And that's why I continue to put mine out there, because if there's any other wacky person out there with these crazy wonky hormone issues that I'm dealing with, maybe someday this will help somebody else. So in the meantime, I'll see y'all out there in carnivore video land. Bye.